Today's guest is Tanya Rosen, founder of Nutrition by Tanya. Tanya didn't just start out wanting to be a nutritionist, but after facing her own health struggles, she made a pivotal decision to rebuild her life around wellness. What began in people's basements grew into a multi-location business with 12 locations, a product line, and a team of over 40, helping thousands of people live healthier, more confident lives. This conversation is about pivots, persistence, and body confidence, and what it takes to build a business without losing yourself along the way. Listen this week on Jewish Grit. Tanya, it is so nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You grew up dreaming about being a lawyer, and somehow you ended up in the health space. And I want to know, when did you realize that path was no longer what you wanted? It wasn't aligned with where you wanted to go in life.
So basically, when I was pregnant with my first child 21 years ago, I had gained 50 pounds, 50. And at that time, I had already taken the LSATs, and I was applying to law schools, and I was sure that that's what I want to do. And I had never dieted or eaten anything healthy or moved or exercised in my life. But here I was with 50 extra pounds, and I was like, let me lose it, right? So I was trying to figure it out on my own. Back then, there wasn't all these million programs and nutritionists and whatever. And I got really into it. I was like, wow, this is cool. It's cool to eat healthy. It's cool to move. It's cool to exercise. Okay. And then also having a baby, I was like, how am I going to be those crazy full-time, corporate lawyers, which is what I wanted to be, right? Litigation and courtroom, that was my style. I wanted to be you ever watch Legally Blonde?
Oh, yes, of course. So, I think we all have.
Right. So I wanted to be legally blonde, right? Not paperwork lawyer, lawyer. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go for nutrition instead, right? Law school, I could just do it any other time. I'm going to go for nutrition instead and work part-time and raise my baby and have more babies. And that's it. Changed my path. My parents were devastated. Everyone thought I was crazy, but that's what I did.
Can you talk a little bit about the products and services that you currently offer?
So our main thing is nutrition counseling. So people come in, whether it's to gain weight, lose weight, address a medical concern, just eat healthy. Some people come in with their kids or even on behalf of their kids to learn how to, for their kids to eat healthy. And then we make a customized plan. So we do a lot of one-on-one. We make a customized plan for each person based on their needs. This is really for men, women, kids, ages 5 to 95 or whatever. The oldest we've had was 95. Then we do follow-ups, right? So we're there for them. They have our cell phone numbers. They could text us if they're in the grocery or if they're going out to eat or if they're having an event or whatever. And we help them along the way. And then we monitor them. We see how their goals are going. If it's to gain weight, are they gaining the right amount of weight? If it's to lose weight, are they losing weight appropriately? That's our main thing. And then we also sell a full line of food. So we have meals, we have snacks, and that's sold at our locations and in all kosher supermarkets throughout the United States. And then we also have online courses for working out, as well as emotional eating and other programs that people could do online. And we also have kosher workout series. So we have the instructors are dressed modestly, the music is non-secular, short, effective workouts for all levels.
What kind of fears came up when you wanted to pivot like that? Because I can see that you go on plan A for so long, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, you know what? That doesn't fit with my lifestyle. Right. So what kind of fears came up when you moved in that direction?
I mean, definitely my parents' disappointment. My parents are Russian immigrants.
Yeah.
So this was their lifelong dream. Their daughter will be a lawyer. They use money they did not have for LSATs and for LSAT prep and for all these things. And this was their dream. So definitely my parents' disappointment. Also just kind of growing up in a Russian culture is you become a professional. A nutritionist is cute, but it's not a professional. It really changed the whole what people expect of me, what I expect of me. It made me into a whole different era, category, whatever.
Right, but it seems that you didn't just do something small. You ended up building something incredible. You have 12 locations. You not only have Nutrition by Tanya, which is products and sold in stores all over, right? You're also doing consulting. You're also have a stamp of approval on all of your things. So you don't do something small. So how did that come about?
So it really wasn't the plan wasn't for it to be big. There was no business plan or expansion plan or like a growth plan. It really was supposed to be small. And then it just kind of organically grew, right? But it wasn't the plan.
So was there a moment as you were growing where you felt like this isn't going to work?
There was no time for that. Like, there was no time. Like, I was just so busy and so, like, just in a growth mindset that there was no time. And I also, like, it's not even confidence. I mean, that's part of it, but it's like I don't second guess things. Like, if I make a decision, I make a decision, and I'd rather fail at something than wonder what if. That applies to anything. Like, I will try something just so that I never have to wonder what it would have been like.
Yeah.
So, like, I needed to try if I wanted to try a different location or a different product, I needed to do it, or it would, like, bug my head forever and ever. Like, I just needed to, like, do it.
Was the growth organic? Or was it strategic?
Organic.
So talk to me a little bit about that process. Like, how did it start? How did you get into, like, you had a health situation. You started to, you got yourself out of whatever issues you had. Obviously saw a gap in the marketplace. But how did that organic growth happen? I'd love to hear your story.
So the reason I say it's not strategic, meaning if I had to look back now and, like, write it out as a business plan, maybe I could, maybe I can't, but we never did it like that. It was more like, let's say we had a Bar Park and a Flatbush location, and people were coming in from Muncie and saying, like, hey, this is crazy, I love you, but, like, I'm in Muncie, like, open a Muncie location, right? So then we would open a Muncie location. Or let's say people were eating our muffins and cookies and saying, like, you know what, I wish I could have, like, a dreamy, creamy cheesecake that, like, I'm still on a diet and I could eat that. So we created a dreamy, creamy cheesecake, right? So it was more like based on what people wanted versus, like, here's the plan and,
When you were growing, I want to take you back to a time where it was just hard. It was hard. It was tough. Was there a moment in your growth journey that you felt that way?
I just, like, sometimes it just felt like too much. Like, it didn't feel like failure. It felt like too much. Like, am I doing too much, right? Why am I doing so much? What's the reason? Like, I'm a deep reflective person, and, like, I think a lot and I analyze a lot. So, like, I would just ask myself, like, why are you doing all this? Like, do you need to do this much? Like, are you just doing it? Like, also as a mom, there's always, like, the guilt of, like, am I neglecting my kids in order to do this? So I don't think I felt it in a sense of, like, is this going well? I just felt it more like, am I doing too much and am I neglecting my kids?
So what do you tell yourself to get past that?
I mean, I try to be honest with myself. I think that also, like, the fact that my husband and my kids are very supportive of what I do. They're all involved and they're all supportive, so that helps. They don't give me the guilt that I give myself.
So can you share a little bit about your Jewish upbringing and the things that you really pull from your faith in your growth of your business?
So I grew up not religious, in Israel, actually. My parents are Russian. And we grew up, like, traditional but not religious. Like, my mom would light candles. We kept some kosher, but not much. When we came to America, they put me in a kiruv school, Baragola. And Baragola had girls like me who came from Russian backgrounds who weren't religious. And a lot of the girls got inspired by their teachers and Shabbatons and things like that. Then I went to college first for a year. And then after that, I decided to take a break from college and go to Neve, which you can go at any age. Neve Seminary is in Jerusalem, and it is a seminary that is for anyone. Like, you can come to class in, like, shorts and, like, 12 piercings.
Oh, wow.
Or you can come there as someone who's been Hasidish her whole life but never understood why and, like, wants to learn and grow. So it's really, like, all types, all ages. So it's very accepting and very, like, grow on your own level or don't grow or whatever you want.
So how was that experience for you?
So that was amazing. Like, that was very transformative. And once I came back in June, I was there from September to June. I was already fully religious. I was keeping Shabbos and kosher and modesty laws and everything.
So your Jewish journey started off, you're not religious, now you are religious. How has your faith played in your business?
So it's very interesting because I always say that I don't know how people who are not religious run a business, because you see God, like, in such crazy, crazy ways. Like, when you have a regular job, like, exactly, like, you're getting paid X amount on X date and X date, and that's it, right? Like, exactly. When you're in business, you see crazy things, like, and you also see that you're not in control. Like we could do, like, what I think is, like, an amazing idea, an amazing project, an amazing campaign, and then we're like, okay, crickets, like, nothing. And then we could be, like, doing nothing or doing something that I didn't think was amazing, and, like, I guess I always say like God liked that one, so then it does really, really, really well.
Right.
So I've also had many times where I was very frustrated. Like, let's say I need to fill a certain role, and I'm just not getting the right person. Like, I've done LinkedIn, I've done Craigslist, I've interviewed a million people, and I literally, like, I'll turn to God and I'll be like, okay, I really did my part. Like, I did my part. Like, I'm like the definition of like doing your part. Like, I've exhausted all whatever. If you want me to find someone for this role, bring it. If not, and like literally like 5 minutes later, someone will like message me, hey, are you looking to hire? I have a friend who's amazing. And like that person ends up being like a star employee and like literally just dropped from the sky. So it's amazing. You see God a lot like that.
I'm sure. How many employees do you have?
So part-time, a lot of them are part-time. So like a little over 40.
Wow. And what's it like to lead a team?
It's great. It comes natural to me. So like it's not hard for me. Like it's not hard for me to delegate, which is important. You just have to like really understand people and understand like what makes each person tick, because everyone is different.
So was there ever a situation that came up with your employees that you felt like, how am I going to handle this?
Yeah, many times. I mean, most of them are normal, you know. Someone's just having a bad day, or someone just needs a little extra like TLC or acknowledgement. And then I've had some drama as well. And it's, you know, apparently it's part of the program.
Part of your platform is emotional eating and how a lot of people struggle with it. Why is this something that you talk openly about and feel passionate about it?
It's very easy to tell people what to eat, right? Like when I first became a nutritionist, I naively thought that that's all you got to do. Like just tell people what to eat. They're going to listen to you and they're going to live happily ever after, like the end, right? But then I realized that there's so much more to it. Like there's the why people eat, right? And the answer is so much more than just, oh, when I'm hungry, I eat. Because that's like 5% of people, and everyone else has a million other reasons why they eat when they eat, right? So I became very fascinated in it because I like psychology stuff and it's very interesting to me. So I started kind of like listening to what, like the reasons people eat, and like let's say someone would cheat or whatever, I would ask why, what happened, right? Then I took a lot of courses on emotional eating. I'm actually even a certified life coach, and I learned directly from Judith Beck, who's like the queen of emotional eating. I took her course in person. I wanted to really, really understand it and get to the depth of it, because if you don't get to the bottom of it and the why, someone could be on 1,000 diets and it's never going to last if they're not addressing like the core root of why they're eating.
So what would you tell young professionals who to be more not only conscientious of their body, but what would you tell them about body positivity or emotional eating?
I mean, it's really two separate things. So body positivity is very misused these days. Like the whole body positivity movement is completely misused. It's basically giving permission to like become 300 pounds and just love yourself the way you are. It's just giving everyone an excuse to like the way the body positivity movement is set up. I would say that everyone has their best body that they can get to, right? Meaning not everyone will be a size 0 or 2, right? Just like not everyone can be blonde and tanned, right? There are certain genetics at play, there are certain limitations, but everyone can be their best selves, right? And there's no reason not to be your best self. Besides, we're talking about vanity, but also for health, right? All these, like this whole body positivity movement, those people that are 300 pounds are not healthy.
What do you wish women understood more about their bodies and their self-worth?
I'm not sure how to answer that, but I mean, I would say that everyone should stop comparing themselves to other people, right? You don't have the genetics of your friend, you don't have whatever your friend has, but you could be your best version, and I wish people knew that you don't have to go to crazy extremes to do that, right? There's a lot out there like juicing and cleansing and detox and this and that. You don't have to do any of that. Like you could actually accomplish this without being crazy or extreme.
What advice would you give to a young professional standing at the edge of a pivot, and they may be scared and they may not know what to do?
Right. So I would say that definitely have a mentor, someone who knows you well, someone who's objective about you, doesn't have their own agenda in place, you know, and let them help you figure out what it is you want to do. But there's going to come a point where you kind of just like have to pull the trigger and do it. Some people have a hard time with decisiveness, right? Especially Libras. If anyone's a Libra, then you probably have a very hard time making decisions. That's a Libra thing. But some people have a hard time. But like, there's got to be a point where you just like you won't know until you try it, right?
So if a young professional wants to go into the health and wellness industry, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Definitely do research in terms of like what you want your message to be, right? Like, don't just be generic. Like, don't just tell people like protein and vegetables and carbs and whatever. Like, people know these days what to eat. They could Google it. They could read a book about it. Like, you want to offer more than that. And there's hardly ever such a thing as like not getting into people's lifestyle and emotional health and mental health. Like, you got to combine it. Otherwise, you're not different than Google or a book that they could read.
When it comes to marketing, how do people find you? How do people know you?
So mostly word of mouth, but we do have an Instagram account, and my WhatsApp status gets a lot of views. I post a lot on my WhatsApp status. Of course, we do traditional print advertising in the Jewish magazines. Other than that, today's world is very much like about influencers. Like, it's certain influencers are definitely worth it. They cost not much more than an ad, and they have a further reach usually.
Right.
So that too.
What makes you proud to be a Jew?
There's no other way really to be grounded and be. It also leads you like of course there's exceptions, but you're gonna run your business honestly. You're gonna have more honest dealings with people. You're gonna have a guide, right? Like when I see people that are running a business that is open on Shabbos or whatever, I'm like, when do you like relax? When do you disconnect? Like, I love Shabbos. I love holidays. You get to like totally, to me, it's the best way. It's especially for a person who's a workaholic, who's, go, 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 go. You need that like disconnect.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for all of your insightful knowledge. We greatly appreciate you sitting with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Jewish Grit, an Olami Mentorship podcast. At Olami Mentorship, we believe that everyone needs a mentor. What better way is there to tap into your personal and professional potential than with a Jewish mentor at your side? Learn more at olami.org/mentorship. Don't forget to keep listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.